Hi, I'm Christina.
And I'm Christine. Welcome to Stereo Thematica.
Music is the heartbeat of our lives and the connective tissue of our friendship. Christine and I met at work in LA, but when I moved to Texas, we started a weekly challenge. Pick a song that fits a chosen theme.
This game opened us to new perspectives on each other and deepened our understanding of the songs that shape our lives. Each week, we recreate the magic of our song exchange on a broader scale.
Hi, Christine.
Hey, Christina. How you doing?
How's it going? Jinx.
Buy a Coke.
Does anyone even buy Cokes for their friends anymore?
Where does that even come from?
Pinch poke, you owe me a Coke. We weren't really allowed to drink soda growing up. And then when at school, we were allowed every Friday, if you were good, you could bring in 50 cents and get a Coke from the vending machine. And it was like a big deal.
Oh my gosh, that is kind of crazy, but not as crazy as my life as a child, where my mom would take us to McDonald's every day and have us drink Cokes.
No. What?
I mean, now I think she regrets it. But yeah, we were big into Coke as kids. For me, as a result, I don't really drink it.
Wow.
I prefer water or wine.
Yeah. When I moved away from home to go to college, I remember being like, I can buy whatever I want to have in my apartment now. So I was buying those fridge packs of Coke. And then I wasn't drinking it that much, but I was like, I can do this.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're deprived.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to our music podcast. Are you ready to begin talking about music? Okay,
what's our theme this week, Christina?
Well, I decided to pick another confusing theme. And the way that I first posed this theme to you when we were playing the game is I said this was a song that caught me off guard when I actually listened to the lyrics. And I think that'll make more sense when you listen to my pick, but let's get to that in a moment. What did you think when I originally shared? So I think I said caught off guard.
Yes.
So how did that land with you?
Well, I love making a confusing theme even more convoluted. So, of course, for me, the first thing that came to mind is one of my favorite books, American Pastoral. And before I continue on with that, I have to ask you, how do you say pastoral? Do you say pastoral or pastoral?
I think because I'm Southern, I say pastoral.
Okay, American Pastoral. That's what I say. But I feel like a lot of people say it the other way. Anyway, so early on in this book, and this is probably how I came to love this book, there's this page-long soliloquy from the narrator.
Who's the author, first of all?
Oh, sorry. It's Philip Roth. I'm going to just read one of the lines that kind of sums up what I'm talking about. That's how we know we're alive. We're wrong.
Okay.
Now, have we ever talked about how I enjoy being wrong?
Actually, I don't know that we have. And I don't know that you do like to be wrong. So prove me wrong.
So, it's really about benefiting from the outcome of being wrong. So that's learning and improving. Okay, now this is where I bring it back to the theme. Being caught off guard falls into the realm of wrongness, which is kind of great, but also sometimes being wrong or caught off guard can make me feel shame. And that's what's going on right now. When you shared your theme with me, and as I was thinking about my pick, that's all going on. So, there you have it.
It is always fun to see how we interpret each other's themes because I do feel like neither of us are very sticklers. There has only been one incident, we'll talk about it when we get there, that one of the hosts had to be corrected in their theme selection. So, that's not today. My pick for Caught Off Guard is Keep It Warm by Flo and Eddie.
Write another song for the money. Something they can sing, not so funny. Money in the bank to keep us warm.
This is a song I stumbled upon from, I'm guessing it was put in one of those Spotify Discover Weekly playlists, which sometimes they really deliver with music because it'll either be music that I've already listened to a long time ago and I kind of forgot about it and I'm being reintroduced to it, or it's something that's very in my oh my gosh, I've never heard this. And that was what this song was because I never even heard of Flo and Eddie.
Yeah.
But it's from their 1976 album, Moving Targets. And it's actually a comedy rock album. So to be truly transparent, I haven't listened to the rest of the album because I'm not interested in comedy rock.
I know. I feel the same way.
I appreciate the artistry and, used to be as a child actually a huge Weird Al fan. But this song, it's like, it is kind of silly in some ways. And I think once you listen through, you'll kind of hear of it. But it must have been very zeitgeist for the time because like they reference the Gipper a couple of times, which I know is a nickname for Ronald Reagan. And there's a few other timely name drops like Grace Slick. They talk about George suing Paul, suing Ringo. Immigration wants John and Yoko. So, I mean, they're definitely poking fun at a lot of people from this area. But wait, before we get into it, are you familiar with Flo and Eddie?
No, I'm of course familiar with the Turtles, but not with Flo and Eddie. So this was also like, I feel like I had heard it before, but I never really listened to the lyrics, and I'll let you get into those.
Yeah, because the part that caught me off guard is when I heard them sing this part.
Kill another whale with your power. Shoot a bunch of kids from a tower.
That legitimately, when I listened to it, when I heard it for the first time, it stopped me in my tracks because it's like it has to be a reference to the 1966 UT, University of Texas tower shooting that was carried out by Charles Whitman. So, Christine, I attended UT, but did you know that I spent 3 years working in that tower when I was a student?
No, and I can only imagine what that was like. Like, did that tragedy haunt your life, at least when you were working there? Like,
it was like oddly top of mind a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, and so I was a UT tour guide as a student, and people would ask questions. Like, we weren't technically allowed to like talk about the tower shooting. The only thing we could really say was like, oh, this turtle pond is a memorial to the victims of the tower shooting and whatever.
Oy.
But of course, people talked about it all the time and asked sometimes really insensitive questions. It was like you could still see bullet holes in the
wow.
walls, in the tower. And like weirdly enough, I actually met one of the police guards who killed Whitman. So I mean,
Did you talk to it? Like, did you have a conversation with him about it?
because I worked in the admissions office, like a lot of these people were coming in and out regularly. So this guy was like a campus police officer. UT was one of the first college campuses with their own police force, and I'm sure it had something to do.
Huh.
So yeah, it was really, it was something that felt very close to me. And
Yeah.
like, even though that was so long ago, 66, I wasn't even born till 88, but I felt a lot of just sadness and kind of strange lore about that
Yeah.
shooting. So it really did seem weird to me that they would be singing about the deadliest mass shooting in US history on a comedy song. And sometimes I still struggle with it because like this song is so funky and like it
Yeah.
feels very like chill and fun and like, just keep it warm,
Yeah.
man. Like
No, very
roll
Beach
another
Boys
joint.
too.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
And they reference the Woodies of the Beach Boys
Yeah.
era, so it does have that, but then it is so political too, like
Yeah.
throughout. But it does, I think, with the shooting reference, it kind of reaches a crescendo of darkness.
And I have to wonder too, like, I can't imagine what that must have been like because that was 66, 10 years
Yeah.
before this album was
Yeah.
put out. It must have been something that, can you even imagine, like, back then, before we were having mass shootings, like, all
Yeah.
the time in the US, like, it probably was something that messed with a lot of people
Oh,
and just
sure.
kind of changed the way that you perceive the world once, someone can climb up into a tower and just start gunning down students
Yeah.
and civilians. Like, it's pretty insane. But I do think, so it's important, you mentioned the Turtles. So Flo and Eddie, I was trying to find out more about them just to kind of learn about their, them being a comedy duo and whatever. So Flo and Eddie are actually Mark Volman, Flo from Fluorescent Leech, and Howard Kalin. And yes, they were founding members of the Turtles and they were former members of Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention. So they have a lot of zany background to them. And I feel like anyone who's familiar with Mothers of Invention will know, like, very wild, irreverent,
Yes.
just very zany performers. But they've also done backing vocals on lots of iconic songs and albums, including like T-Rex. They did a lot of the backing vocals on Electric Warrior, Blondie, Alice Cooper. I think there's a Bruce Springsteen song and I can't remember which one, but so they're quite accomplished and quite famous on their own. But this like little side comedy project seemed to kind of fly under the radar.
Yeah.
At least I never hear people
No.
talking about this band.
I know, and I would love to, like, maybe if any of our listeners have experience
Yeah.
or are fans of Flo and Eddie. This is a very intense song. I know when I was listening to it, like it starts off like very 70s vibes and like
Yeah.
easy to sing along with. And then it's like, oh,
Exactly.
this is an interesting lyric. And then it just keeps building up and getting darker and darker. But it's funny, I guess. It's not like Weird Al Yankovic fun.
Yeah. It's not, to me, you're right. It's not haha funny. It's kind of like raising your eyebrows.
Yes.
Like, what?
But it kind of makes sense with the whole like Frank Zappa connection,
Yeah.
like that, like go hard, go heavy, go dark, and go weird.
And the funny thing about these guys is I think you have to think about like Zappa and like that crew and everything. But like it seems they did a really interesting, I don't want to call it political, but they had a big impact on music because these two, they ended up suing SiriusXM for failing to pay sound recording royalties in New York, California, and Florida.
Oh, good for them.
Yes. And because they owned the Turtles music rights, when they sued them, Sirius had not been paying to play these records that were recorded before 72. No royalties they were just kind of like, probably thought, oh, whatever, like who's going to track us down? Well, Flo and Eddie freaking tracked them down. And then in 2016, SiriusXM ended up agreeing to pay between 25 to 99 million to the pre-1972 song owners. I mean, that's a big win for musicians. If they were alive, if they own their music, you have to imagine a lot of that music was probably owned by a record label.
Sure.
But it did kind of crack me up because of some contract they had signed like really early on in their career, they weren't allowed to use their real names. So that's why they go by Flo and Eddie.
Huh.
It just makes you wonder like what kind of behind the scenes stuff
I know what was going on.
Yeah. Like, because then eventually I think they ended up going by Flo and Eddie Present the Turtles or something like that.
Gosh.
So yeah, I wish if anyone knows if there's I was looking around online and I could hardly find anything, but if there's like a documentary or a great article, please send it our way because
yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, I am really intrigued in particular by this song, but also just kind of by their whole vibe. So I do, listener, definitely encourage you to check out the song. I can't take any responsibility for what the rest of the album sounds like because I haven't listened to it, but I love a song where I don't know, I think I did end up getting goosebumps from hearing that line. It just was like, it felt so, even though it's odd, but it felt deeply personal to me.
Yeah. No, I can see that. But it's interesting that it's contrasted or it's like it follows the whale line too. I don't know. That's somehow like it gives it even more gravity, but it's definitely building up to this like thing that's so tragic.
I'm wondering about the whale too. Like kill another whale with your powers. Like, is that in reference? I don't know. We watch a lot of nature documentaries at my house, so I know about like sound hurting whales. And I'm sure there was like way more whaling back then.
Yeah.
Man, I could go on a tangent, but let me save myself from doing that because I want to get into your pick.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
So, as I mentioned, I often feel shame initially in these situations of being caught off guard. But ultimately, what wins is the fact that I'm learning something or like changing an opinion about something I thought I knew, which again, like the Philip Roth book, that's really what life is all about. Being wrong, being caught off guard, learning something. This is all going on in my mind, and it still is going on in my mind as I try to come to terms with the fact that it wasn't until last summer that I learned of this song. So the song that caught me off guard was Ixtepec on the 1994 album Rey by the Mexican band Café Tacuba. I heard this on my Apple Discovery playlist, and I kind of love how you are team Spotify. I am team Apple.
Spotify and Apple reach out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know if that like neutralizes it and we're not really like promoting anyone.
Yeah, that's right.
But this was a discovery last summer driving. I was like at once severely disappointed in myself for not previously knowing it. Yeah, because I'm like, this is exactly the type of song that I should love. And I'm like thinking at the time, oh, this is a new song. This is great. But it was 30 years old. Like 1994 is exactly the time I should have learned about this song.
Yeah.
But it starts out so strong with this like energizing guitar we just heard. And then we get, I think, claves, that wooden knocking sound.
Mm.
And that comes in and out throughout the song. And then the vocals come on and they're really forceful with lyrics about a guy named Juan with his stupid face being condemned to walk Ixtepec, a city in Oaxaca, Mexico. I remember you said you were caught off guard from that first line too. I think you said that.
I remember, like, what does he say? Cara de tonto?
Yeah, exactly.
I was listening to this recently and it was making me laugh out loud when I heard that.
No, I so love that first line.
It's really cute.
So I'm driving and I hear this for the first time, and the map was on my screen, so I didn't see like what music was playing. And it's hard for me to switch apps while I drive. I don't want to cause any accidents. So I
Amen.
glanced at my phone and I was totally caught off guard because in my mind, like, I don't know, I thought Café Tacuba was like more garden variety rock en español, like Mana and Caifanes. No shade, they're great, just not my thing. But like, this was extraordinary. And in my typical fashion, I kept hitting replay and started paying more and more attention to the lyrics and the range. No wonder Rolling Stone named it #1 of the 10 greatest Latin rock albums of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, like that was in 2012 that they did. And we'll share that article. So, with this album, the band wanted to deepen their relationship with traditional Mexican music and infuse it with punk, metal, funk, and rock. And seriously, the entire album is like that SNL Stefan skit. It's got everything. You know what skit I'm talking about, right?
Yes, of course.
So it really does have everything. Boleros, banda, pop, ranchera, disco, norteño, huapango. I think the only thing it doesn't have is like rooms full of glass. Like the Stefan skit.
Aw.
But the New York Times called Rey the white album of rock en español, and I think part of it is because it just had such a variety of styles.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did it get its flowers when the album was released, or was everybody like late to the game like you?
I feel like it was definitely recognized, but more and more, and I think probably with every like anniversary, like the 10th anniversary, the 20th anniversary, and then like obviously the 30th anniversary was last year, and maybe that's why it popped up in my discovery playlist, but it definitely, I think, it continues to get more recognition with age. Yeah.
Okay.
No, and it really does feel so timeless. It was produced by the legendary Gustavo Santaolalla, who, in addition to producing so many scores, was the founder of Bajo Fondo Collective. Are you familiar with that band?
No, not at all.
Oh, they're like so much fun. They do like not only neo tango, but that's how I got into them. And I saw them at the Roxy like in 2008. I
Wow.
don't know if they still perform, but it was a fun, really fun concert.
I can't even conceptualize of this genre, neo tango.
Oh, man. Oh, we'll have to talk about that in another episode.
Nice. Homework.
But yeah, so he's like this amazing composer and just doing a bunch of soundtracks, and then he's producing this album, but like in 1994, so before he's done a lot of these like big movies too. So the album is something special, and in the show notes I'll share a few more of my favorite songs. But I want to warn people, if you're not immediately feeling a song, don't give up, because there's songs and there's like 20 of them on this album. I know there's maybe 5 too many songs, but they go into all sorts of unexpected places, and totally it has some skips too. So
nice.
yeah. Another thing I really liked about the album is the reoccurring theme of the cycle of life. The album is full of references to life, death, rebirth, and that's emphasized in the last line of Ixtepec, that life is a cycle. Yeah.
Do they ever like talk about their worldview in other parts of the album? Oh, you said that it's like repeated a lot.
It is repeated. So that's
cool.
that's always something fun to connect with. And again, like Spanish isn't my first language, so it takes a while for me to like grasp the references. But when you listen over and over again, it eventually becomes clear. Another popular song on the album is El Ciclón, the cyclone. And Christina, what does a cyclone look like?
Like a swirl, like a spiral.
Yes, the spiral. The spiral is back, and there's the spiral of a snail shell on the album cover. And the Aztecs considered the snail a sacred being because its shell represented the cycle of life.
Oh, yeah.
So Fibonacci is
Wow,
back.
Fibonacci's forever.
Yes. My tummy is growly.
Oh, I love it. This is very weird. Wait, do you know the name for snail in Spanish?
No.
Me neither. I'm gonna have to go look that up.
Hold on. Caracol.
Duh.
That's
Caracol. Okay.
caracol.
Yeah. I knew that word. I just didn't know that it meant snail. I think I was thinking of like, like the shell, the beautiful shell that
Uh-huh.
has you're imagining like a caracol, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Nice.
Multi meanings.
Exactly. Well, I started off being disappointed in myself for not knowing about the song and the album, not being able to see Cafe Tacuba in their heyday and mine. Like, how many times did I miss them at Hollywood Bowl? They used to play Hollywood Bowl so much. I think even like,
Oh wow.
like in I don't know, 2020 or something, they were there, and my cousin asked me to go, and I was like, that's okay.
Oh.
But no, the excitement and giddiness that goes into being caught off guard, Christina, is something so special. And that learning something new and correcting your perceptions is so great. And yes, sometimes embarrassing, and indeed a part of the cycle of life. So thank you for this theme.
Oh, wow, that's so beautiful and mature of you. I could invite a couple of people to take joy in learning from their mistakes. No, I won't name names, and maybe it's me even. So let's all take a page out of Christine's book and find delight in our rewriting our mistake history.
Yeah, because it's a cycle of life.
Yeah.
Got to make
Amen.
mistakes.
Love it. It is important to make mistakes, and I will not make the mistake of choosing a really zany theme every time, but I do appreciate your life lesson that we're taking from this one.
Oh,
and I
thank
also
you.
like how we interpreted it pretty differently.
Yeah, always.
All right. Well, I think that is it for this week's episode. So, Christine, do you want to give us a preview of what we'll be talking about next week?
We'll be mixing it up, that's for sure. Thanks for listening to Stereo Thematica. If you're still listening, maybe you like us. So please consider writing a review, rating us, sharing with a friend.
And I strongly encourage you to subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform and follow us on Instagram, where you can share your songs that caught you off guard.
And visit stereothematica.blog for more fun.